Are you ready to stop the self-sabotage and create the life you desire? Well, in order for that to happen, you need to break free from the bad beliefs that are holding your success hostage. You need to optimize the stress by turning it into extra energy for success. And those hurtful habits? Well, we need to give that pain a purpose for progress. Welcome to Stop the Self-Sabotage and Create the Life You Desire podcast. Think about a hobby that you really enjoy, something that you'd like to take even further. If you've been in my world for a while, you know that I really like hiking. I also have a hobby, how people develop themselves to be their very best. Right now, leadership and understanding the psychology behind it is one of my hobbies. But for you, what's one of the hobbies that you'd like to see if you could advance a little bit more? And then think about one of the thought leaders in that arena. Maybe somebody who's written a book about it, or somebody that you follow, maybe on YouTube, and you 1 hour with them. An hour consultation to where you can find out all the different ways about how to take your hobby that you really enjoy even further. What would you typically do with that hour? Well, for most of us, we'd ask questions. Be like, okay, well, how do you do this? And what about that? And how do you move this even further along? So you've got an hour with somebody that you absolutely admire, respect. You want what they've got. How are you going to get that? You're going to ask questions so you can be able to do it for yourself. Now let's say that you've got a painful problem and it's really hurting you. Maybe it's something physically. Could it be with another family member? Maybe something going on financially or in your career, but you've got something that really hurts. And you've got an hour with someone who's going to be able to assist you. Will you treat that hour the same way you would treat the hour with the thought leader who's going to help you have more fun in life? No, you won't. I believe it's 99.007% of people will spend the hour retelling their pain. They'll spend the hour going over every single detail that they think that person needs to know in order to assist them. They will retell their pain instead of asking for progress. Why is that? Because when we experience people in authority, we treat them like we were conditioned and programmed to treat our teachers. See, the only way you could be promoted from one grade to the next was to retell what you knew. And so with authority figures, that's typically what we'll do. We'll retell our story again and again. Promotion, though, once we're an adult, doesn't come from retelling our pain. Promotion comes from sharing, this is a struggle I have, and then asking, what do you suggest about moving forward? Whenever I have a complimentary consult with people to see if I should even be working with them, they tell me their painful problem. We can get together. It can be as little as 15 minutes, but if you know me, I can't say anything in 15 minutes, all the way up to 45 minutes where they're sharing with me what challenges that they have. And at the end of that, then I give them suggestions on how to move forward, whether it's with me or whether it's on their own, but this is what they can do about that. But once they invest in working with me, the first time we get together, it's 2 hours. The first hour is coaching around their challenge. The second hour is using hypnosis to bring out who they are as a leader to make this happen. And yet I find that over 80% of my clients don't want any suggestions in that first hour on how to be their very best. They just want to retell their story again and again and again. And those are the ones that are going to need additional assistance because they think that if they tell their story enough, that they're finally going to get out of it. And yet every single time you tell your story, you hurt, because the subconscious mind cannot tell the difference between imagination and reality. So what I'd like to share with you are some ways that you can upgrade that reality. By the way, if you're new to my world, Dawn Ferguson, I'm a certified hypnotist, helping others reach greater heights of success with less effort by turning on the leader that they really are. I'm also a certified instructor. I train others to be able to do this. And I'm a rapid results coach, because if you're going to work with me, you are going to walk away with right away results. It's not something where it's going to take years or months or even weeks. No, same day results. I expect it out of you, nothing less than that. Okay. But to do that, we have to begin to upgrade your reality. I'm going to give you an example. My mom, going to be 79. 25 years ago, she had her knees replaced, and it was really interesting what her body did with it. Where her knees were replaced, her body actually formed bone over the knee replacement. I've seen the x-rays. Freaking what? And so for the last 24 and a half years, she had the knees replaced like 25 years ago. For the last 24 and a half years, her knees have not bent. She has learned how to get around by swinging her legs out and being able to move like that. Can you think of all the things you're not able to do during your day if your knees wouldn't bend? Well, she's learned to adapt. My mom always wanted to do things that were a little bit on the adventurous side, and my dad was like, no, I'd rather just sit on the couch and watch TV. And my mom, because of the relationship they had, went along with it. Okay. Dad's been gone for a few years now. Mom's blossoming and coming into her own. And her and I are going to be taking a vacation with several of my friends in just a couple of months. I've told you before that if you want to have a youthful outlook on life, don't hang around with people your own age. Hang around with the younger people. And that's what Mom's doing. So Mom is what some people would consider physically handicapped. I told Mom that one of the things that I wanted to do on vacation was go ziplining. Mom said, can I go with you? Number one, almost 79. Number two, physically handicapped. Number three, just broke her hip this past December, coming off the ladder from being, 15 feet up in the air, hanging new curtains. And when she came down off the ladder, she tripped and fractured her hip. And yet going, I'd like to do something adventurous like that. So now I'm looking for adventure activities. By the way, there's no zip lines in the area that we're going that are handicap accessible, although there are some in the States, but not where we're going. So I'm devising other things that she can do that would be appropriate and yet still pushes her a little bit beyond where she was going. See, she could have told me the story as far as, the most sleep I can get at night at any one time is about 90 minutes because the pain in my legs is too great to stay in that position for very long. And that I've lived with that for 25 years. And now the hip causes some challenges where I've had the pins put in because my legs don't move like a normal person. So I've got that added on. And she could have gone into retelling me the story that I know all too well because she's my mother. And instead she's going, how can we achieve success? How can I move forward? Dawn, assist me. I want to discover things that I have yet to experience at almost 79. Now, if she can do it, why cannot you do it? Well, here's the reason why. It's because of the group you identify with. All right. So what I'd like you to do is I want you to take a piece of paper and I want you to draw a big circle in the middle with 3 circles that are kind of rotating around the big circle. Okay. And in that middle circle, I want you to put reality. And then underneath it, in smaller words, upgraded or the same. Our reality can upgrade at any given time, or it can stay the same. We look for people to do one of those 2 things. We identify with people that are either going to reinforce our current reality, or we identify with people that had that reality and then learned how to turn it around. Now, one of the circles that's moving around the reality, let's say, is the sun. It's the big one. One of the small circles is music. Music has been found to fire off more areas of the brain at the same time than anything else. Creativity, problem solving, which, by the way, are 2 different things. Designing a life, enjoyment, fun, happiness, or depression, aggression, not assertiveness, aggression. Somebody has to pay, but music can do that for you. So if you want to upgrade your reality, look at the music that you're listening to. Are you even listening to music? So take one of those boxes, put music into it, one of those circles, and now draw a line from that circle of music and connect it to reality. But music will only upgrade your reality short term. Now let's look into something that can upgrade it even longer term. Emotions. So in another circle, I want you to write in emotions. Emotions have the ability to upgrade your reality rapidly. This past Monday, I had to put down one of my dogs. And about a half hour after I got home from it, and I was devastated, on my knees. And about a half hour after I got home, I was still doing the magnificent mindset on Monday's live broadcast. Why? Because my emotions work for me. I don't work for them. My identity is one that I am always taking everything in my world that is happening, and I find a way to use it, not to just benefit me, but to benefit those around me. When I work with someone, people don't typically know that they're working with me, but they can see the results, that the people are giving their pain a purpose. Are others able to look at you? And you may be down on your knees. And if you're down, I'm going to give you a suggestion. Stay down until you figure out the lesson, and then you can get back up. Because when you get back up, life is going to hit you again. No doubt about it. It is not freaking easy. Life's going to hit you again. And if you don't understand the reason why you went down the first time, you're going to get knocked down again when you get back up. So don't be in a rush to get back up. You should be in a rush to reach out to someone who can assist you in bringing yourself out at your very best so you can get back up. Okay, so emotions. Emotions can upgrade your reality rapidly if you know how to control them. And we're looking right now out into the general masses and going, their emotions are absolutely flipping out of control. Why? Because they don't have leaders to show them how it's done. To say, yeah, life is hard, but when it gets hard, we don't ask for it to get easier. We get better at it. Okay. So emotions, you have to learn how to control your emotions if you want to upgrade your reality. And then the last one. So take the circle that says emotions, draw a line from emotions directly to the circle, the large circle that says reality upgraded. The last circle, you are not going to draw a direct line from it to reality upgraded. Not going to be able to do that. I'm going to share with you why now. So in that third circle that you drew, you're going to write how you identify with a group for your personal perception. That's a mouthful. How you identify your personal perception, who you think you are through a group. Because who you think you are was developed, 80% of it by age 8, based on the groups that you identified with when you were maturing. And now your powerful mind will continue to seek out people, places, and things to reaffirm that original identity. When my mom, I already told you, 79, wanting to go ziplining, and she's handicapped, but she no longer identifies as handicapped. When my dad was still alive, she was very much a victim because he was a bully. But now that he's gone, she no longer identifies with that. She now identifies with fuller expression. Everything in life seeks fuller expression, whether that's pain or progress. And when someone works with me, and that first hour that they get with me, they continue to tell their story over and over again. That's nothing but pain. And they don't want any suggestions on how to turn it into progress. That's because they are still identifying with the fact that they are a victim. Not their fault. They've been programmed to do it. But here's the thing. As a leader, you have to make a conscious choice every single day that you're going to get off that trauma triangle. You are not going to play the victim. You're not going to play the hero. You are not out there to rescue anybody. You are out there to be a leader and show them how it's done so they have someone to follow, not to be a sheeple, but leaders are always training other leaders. Leaders are always looking to be replaced. When I train someone as a certified hypnotist, I'm like, go out there, become greater than I could ever dream of becoming. Because that's the only way that I can reach everybody I'm supposed to. I reach them through my students. I reach them through my clients. So you will not be a victim. You will not be a savior. And you're not going to be a bully trying to push people into agreeing with you. Because they shouldn't have to. You should have a core identity that draws them in, that's attracted to what you're modeling without ever saying anything. Okay, so in that circle that I was talking about, you want to write down how you identify your personal perception via your groups. And maybe we need to upgrade you into a new group. See, there's 4 groups. There's certainty, there's freedom, there's worthiness, there's validation. Certainty looks to reach out to people. Dysfunctional, I'll only be okay if they make it okay. Or security, which says if it is to be, it is up to me. Then you've got freedom. Freedom reaches out to ways dysfunctional. They create a lot of drama, crisis, and chaos before they're going to have their breakthrough. Whew, that used to be me, I'll be honest. Or through choices. Yes, the choices can be I can have drama or I can choose to find a way to use this pain and give it a purpose. Then you have worthiness. Worthiness says dysfunctional, the only way that I can get worth is I either have to sacrifice myself for others or I have to martyr myself for others, when really it's significance that we're looking for. Significance says, look at how we can pair up. And because of that pairing, we can create something together that is sustainable, greater than what we could apart. And then the final level is validation. Validation, dysfunctional, says I have to hold myself back so others can be okay. And what we really want is love. This is the beginning levels of leadership, by the way. What we really want is love, but we can't give away what we don't possess. So we begin to love ourselves in a way where we have full expression of the leader that we are, and then people are automatically attracted to that. But to be able to do that, we have to work with someone. You might be coming from a level that doesn't even line up with your goals. It doesn't even move you forward. Okay, so you've got that circle of self-perception through group identity. Now you need to draw a smaller circle, and that smaller circle says, do not think, just take action. And so self-perception goes to that, and then from that circle, you go into being able to upgrade your reality. Or your reality will stay the same because you're not thinking, you're just acting, and you're repeating the same thing over and over again. The quality of your life is going to be dependent on the actions you take habitually, the actions that you continue to sustain. So you have to ask yourself, are you leading or are you following? Are you training other people to be leaders? Are you modeling with your actions how to be a sheeple? By the way, for those of you who join me on my podcast and you listen to me week after week, you want to know something. I pay for every listen and for every download you do on this podcast. And if you have not reached out to me and said, okay, how can we partner together to move forward? And if you're not asking me the questions of, hey, yeah, is it a single session? Is it going to take a package? If you're not asking me the questions of, well, maybe that's not in my allocation plan right now, what else might you have that's available? You are a freeloader, and the rest of us are tired of carrying you. So if that is you, I am speaking on behalf of all the other leaders. Quit downloading. Quit watching the videos, quit listening to the audios, quit reading the books, and not doing a damn thing to improve the quality of your life, because you are setting an example for everybody else, and we no longer want you in our group as leaders. Some of you might find that harsh. It's about time someone told you the truth. The rest of us are no longer going to carry you. Okay, for those of you that are going, yeah, that's me, I want to move forward, then let's look at your plan of action. Step number 1. What group do you need to begin to identify with? And it's not certainty, it is not freedom, it is not worthiness, it's going to be validation. That's you as a leader. You need to start training others to be leaders. You need to be training your replacement, because you've got other things to be doing than to constantly be picking people up off of that trauma triangle. So that's step number 1. Step number 2. Who do you admire? And if you had an hour with them, what would you ask them? Quit freaking retelling your story of pain. Be like my mom. What can we do? How can, yeah, I've got this painful problem, but now how can we work around it? What can we find that is going to move us forward? And step number 3, reach out to me to see if I am the best fit for you. Or at the very least, reach out to potentially one of my associates. If you want to reach out to me, if you want to talk about the system of transformation that's going to bring you out as the leader that you are, and then you're going to attract other leaders into your life. It happens automatically, normally, and naturally when you upgrade your reality. They want what you've got. Then you reach out to me, 636-699-7791. You can either call me or you can text me and tell me that you want a consult that's around transformation. We need to be bringing out other leaders. There is no doubt about this. All you need to do is look at anything on social media, anything on the news, and you can see the lack of leadership in every freaking single area. That is no longer acceptable. We don't tell people what to think. We show them how to think for themselves. So reach out to me. Or if you want to talk to one of my associates, go to canhypnosishelpyou.com and click on the button to be able to set a consult. Okay. No longer tolerate people on the trauma triangle that are going to look to you to be their savior. No longer tolerate yourself coming from the victim and wasting that precious hour you would have with the thought leader retelling your painful story because you think that's how you're going to get promoted in life. No, you just get promoted to the next level of pain. That's what you get. You are not going to get progress. And quit looking at life being the bully and how it's continuing to beat you up. You are going to get knocked down. Get assistance on the life lesson so when you get back up, you get back up in a way that you are better than when you went down. And if you're a freeloader, well, we already know what you need to do. I no longer need to be a part of your life. So for the leaders that I'm here to assist, I look forward to our conversation. I'm bringing out your upgraded reality because we're revealing the real you. So until we have that conversation, shine your light even brighter. The world out there is pretty dark. It needs that light.